So hello everyone, welcome back to Oliveboard Regulatory Bodies, and today we are starting our second part of your previous year papers. So second part, and today we will be looking at the next almost 10 to 20 questions जिससे आपको ये पता लगे that this particular question, why it was asked in the exam and how to solve these particular questions. Now listen to me very carefully. Already in the previous class, I hope that you have watched that video and you know that how we can solve this question. So now we will speed up a little bit. The first class was slow. The second class now we will be trying to finish the overall all the questions. So one more question here based on union budget. The year is has been also mentioned and the allocation is 1.1 trillion for Indian Railways. Okay. Out of this total amount, if you see, it is utilized for capital expenditure for the year of 2021-2022 to expand the rail infrastructure in India. So the question is how much amount will be there for capital expenditure for the year of 2021? 1.07 trillion, 1.02 trillion, 0.95, 1.04, 1.09. Look at the numbers. In RBI, one thing is very, very clear. If the question is factual, has data, and if you don't know anything about it, then make sure that you are moving to the next question. अगर कुछ भी नहीं आता है अगर क्वेश्चन देख के and you have not read about it, you don't know even the close calls and you are not able to revise it, मैं बता रहा हूं, you should move forward because there is no chance that you can do any elimination techniques here. Random तुक्काबाजी नहीं चल सकती just because looking at the numbers. There is hardly any difference between the point to point numbers here. So make sure that you are not doing any of the hasty decisions and just taking one of the questions so as to attempt the question. Questions बस attempt करने के लिए मत कभी attempt करना. Again, an important question if you see budget and railway we all know. पहले railways का budget जो होता था, right? There have been so much of changes. पहले अलग होता था, फिर एक साथ होने लगा, फिर से अलग होने लगा, right? So this makes this particular question very, very important. Again, you can consider this particular question from ESI current only, okay, because budget and all budget here is the main topic. The question is very, very simple. They didn't ask you any conceptual part related to it. They are just asking one of the factual data from the union budget. So whenever you are preparing the topic when I'm talking about, now this question is factual question. If difficulty level, I would say that this is moderate. But when we talk about the factuality of the question, what I think is that when you are covering union budget, when you are covering economic survey, okay, when you are covering union budget, when you are covering economic survey, make sure that you are doing it in detailed way. Because 100% from economic survey and budget, one or two questions will be there. So this is literally one of the direct questions which the questions are going to come in the exam. So I don't think there is any chance or you should miss any chance on missing these particular questions. I hope that you should clear and complete all the union budget. Now also on 22 union budget will come. So make sure that you are doing it aptly, covering all the points, factual data, even the minute things of the budget and economic survey you should do. Only 2 documents are there, and if based on that, if 2-3 questions are coming, there is nothing at loss here. So that is why you have to cover it concretely. Was this question to attempt or not? Yes, it was definitely. Now why it was definitely? They have not asked you any random fact. So all the students who say that any random fact is asked in RBI, nothing random is asked in RBI. Everything has a particular reason. Here if you see that year's union budget, there was a change in this particular budget, and that is why, as I told you, the question has been asked. So you have to be very, very peculiar about these particular questions. So answer here is 1.07 trillion. This is your capital expenditure for the year in your rail infrastructure India. So now one more thing is that you try to understand here. See, this shows you that randomness, choice of question are very less in your RBI Grade B exam. Randomness is really very, very less. If you look at the question paper just from the top. If you look at it in a very hasty way, you may feel that some questions are not related and why these questions are asked. But if you break those questions down based on that particular concurrent year, if you try to understand why budget is so important for this year, you will get all your answers. So make sure you understand this. Denmark has decided to build world's first artificial island. Again, see how important, how to pick out which news is important and which news is not important. Whenever something world's first, India's first, some news is there related to that, that GS static becomes very, very important. So Denmark built world's first artificial island with the aim to provide clean energy. The island will be located in North Sea, located between England and Scotland, and power will be generated from which of the following energies? So again, now this question I will not call it factual. This is a general question which has been asked, that this particular world's first artificial island, how you are going to use the overall energy generation there. Which energy you are going to use to electrify this particular artificial village. So although this question seems to be factual, but it is not. We can say that it is conceptual. No, it is not. It is actually current oriented. I will say that it is current oriented. Neither factual, neither concept has been asked here. It is completely current in nature. Again, I will say that it is very easy, because if you had read this news, you would have understood that they are going to use winds to generate tidal energy in this artificial island. I can also give you hints here. So overall, Ireland, Scotland, Denmark, these are the regions where fjords are there. What do you mean by fjords? Fjords are nothing but, if this is your sea, then a raised mountain platform is there like this. Okay, and these mountain tops also come outside of water. Okay, so mountain tops and polar winds, this makes Denmark, Ireland, Scotland, some part of UK a prime place for generation of tidal energy or wind energy. Tidal also and wind also, because sea is also there and your wind is also there. So therefore this could be your logical answer. Again, it may work for some and it may not work for some. Most of my colleagues at that time had used this logic and they made it correct. But there were some few also who gone through the question very properly and they gave correct answer. But look at it, very simple thing was asked, not that difficult thing was asked. So for all the students who are saying RBI har baar kuch na kuch difficulty पूछता है, no, it is not like this. Which of the following festivals is celebrated by Apatani or town, which is also known as Appa, a tribal group which is in Zero Village? I hope that you are knowing Zero Village. Even if you watch travel vlogs, to bhi pata lagega. It's a very famous scenic beauty in the Arunachal Pradesh in Subansiri district. We also know that Apatani tribe is there from Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so now they are asking a very simple question, that which festival is associated with Apatani tribe. Again, GS static का question है ये, completely factual in nature. Okay, but I will say this is very, very easy. The reason that this is easy, such current affairs or generic general knowledge you should know if you are preparing for RBI Grade B exam. Myoko, Guachar Mela, then Thisam, Fanit, then Sukheniye and Nun. So the answer is very simple. Myoko is the answer. This, even I knew this without looking. Myoko, this is particular festival of Apatani tribe. Very few important tribes are there in Northeast. Why not to see that what are the names of the tribe, which are the languages they talk, what are their overall occupational activities, agricultural activities, and last of all, more importantly, which are the festivals associated. These festivals, if you see in Northeast, majorly festivals are harvesting festivals, thank God. Okay, which of the following PSUs has featured on the top list of Indian PSUs in the World Best Employer 2020 report published by Forbes in the month of October 2020? Again, a report has been asked. Now, World's Best Employer 2020 report. I hardly think that you would have gone through the details of this report. but definitely this report has come up in your newspapers, and through that newspapers you have to cover whatever important points are there of this particular report. So one takeaway from this particular question, and what does takeaway is? Takeaway is very, very simple. Picking or nitpicking. Okay, picking or nitpicking important topics, it is very, very crucial for RBI Grade B exam. So what does this picking or nitpicking means? It means that क्या पकड़ना है और क्या छोड़ना है, ये आपको सोचना पड़ेगा RBI Grade B exam के लिए, otherwise it will waste your overall time. What to hold, which point to consider to make it in short note, which point to eliminate. This is what you have to learn, and this will only come if you do practice of previous year question. If you start actually making short notes, then you will automatically understand that's an art that could be very easily learned. This report cannot be done separately. It has to be done through newspapers also. Neither this report, everybody will tell you that this also report is important. No, it is not important. But it will come in newspaper, and from Indian PSU's point of view, again, ESI syllabus, this news becomes so important. Okay, so the answer here is NTPC again. Okay, so this was the organization which was listing in that particular report. So again, from such a report which is not that important in the list of reports and indices for RBI, they are not asking something very different things from you. They are asking simple, basic, simple things they are asking. Okay. Next, NCC of India, which is the largest youth organization in the world, had celebrated 72nd Raising Day on which of the following dates in the year of 2020. So there are many of the students, they would be NCC or NSS. Okay, these are basic organizations in our India, and from your GS static point of view, it is very, very important. So if you see 72nd Raising Day means what? It is nothing but NCC का अगर established date भी अगर आपको पता हो, then also you can give the answer. So 22nd December, 22nd November, 23rd January, 22nd January, 23rd December. If you don't know anything, okay, if you don't know anything, that is fine. What you can do is that you can definitely try to read such of the static information at least within a week. And if you don't know anything, then definitely you have an option to move forward. Sir, NABARD 1 September को होगा क्या? Don't worry, NABARD's also notification will come. I'll definitely tell you if any updates are there. So 22nd November, this is the correct answer. Again, you should not be bothered down by what the answer is. You have to understand what are the essentials you need to know when you're looking at a question from a past year. Organization and their establishment year. Organization and their establishment year, very, very essential. Okay. Identify the bank that has launched Gram Sampark Abhiyan, a nationwide financial inclusion and literacy campaign on occasion of 151st birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. So just a minute, guys. Okay, guys, 151st birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, and they are saying that identify the bank which has launched Gram Sampark Abhiyan. Now, even if you have, this was very, very important because again, it was launched in that year only. Gram Sampark Abhiyan. Okay, in comment section, tell me what was it about. You will be knowing about it. It was more about financial inclusion and literacy, FLN. Okay. So which was the bank which was related? Again, a factual question. Factual question, if you see attemptable, yes, it is attemptable. Difficulty, moderate, because direct fact has been asked. No any complications, very simple. Generally, single liner questions are very easy. These are low hanging fruits. This much preparation is expected if you want to become an RBI Grade B officer. Come on, we are not joking here. So the answer here is PNB, but do try to understand. See, again, it was 151st birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, birth anniversary. Not only that, PNB launched first of a kind Gram Sampark Abhiyan for what? Financial inclusion. This is one of the important main topics in your syllabus, in even finance subject and your ESI subject, isn't it? So that is why, see how you have to do nitpicking. Whenever you are reading the newspaper, you have to go for such words. Whenever you are going through any current affairs on YouTube or through magazines or through newspapers directly, definitely this is what word to word analysis or keyword analysis you have to do. Any time from RBI syllabus, if you see something highlighted, definitely you have to pick that news. To achieve the vision of creating financially aware and empowered India, Reserve Bank of India has released second edition of National Strategy of Financial Education NSFE for 2020-2025. NSFE has recommended the adoption of -C approach for dissemination of financial education in India. So the number is there 3C, 2C, 5C, 4C, 6C. Now again, financial literacy and financial inclusion. Yes, topic ही इतना important है that you cannot miss on this. So that's why I tell that such, and look at the question, look at the gravity of this particular topic. Such question is to be expected to be in RBI Grade B exam. Okay, so again, now when you are looking at this National Strategy for Financial Education, yes, but more importantly, as RBI has released it, it was also on RBI website. So in a week, once in a week, you have to go through all the updates on RBI website. It is quintessential. Okay. So the answer here is 5C. Okay. I hope that you are knowing it. 5C is the correct answer. CRA is an agency registered under Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, that is PFRDA, to perform functions to record account keeping, accounting, administration, customer service to pension scheme subscribers. What does R stand for in CRA? Registry, record keeping, resolution, real time, regulation. So very simple. In your CRA, A is agency, right? What is C? What is R? Can anybody tell? So the answer here is very simple. It is Central Record Keeping Agency. Okay, so here I have given you so that you don't confuse. Central Record Keeping Agency is an arm under PFRDA that is looking after repository of all the accounts, administration, customer service, etc. Okay, so again important. Now this is nothing but this agency is registered under PFRDA. It becomes very, very important. Any information or current affairs which is related to all the regulatory body, it becomes very, very important. You cannot miss those. Okay. Real-time gross settlement RTGS system is primarily meant for large value transactions. So what is RTGS? Okay. So such topics whatever are there from banking, definitely try to read more about it before your exam. You never know when the questions come up. So real-time gross settlement system primarily meant for large value transactions. The minimum amount to initiate a transaction through RTGS with no upper or maximum ceiling is what? 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 4 lakh, 1 lakh. Very easy question, completely factual in nature, attemptable. Do not miss such questions. What is the answer here? The answer here is 2 lakh rupees. If you are doing transaction of at least 2 lakh rupees, then you don't need any upper or maximum ceiling. So minimum your transaction is 2 lakh rupees. Such simple questions are also asked, but yes, difficult questions are also there. For example, this one. Look at it. Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has launched a scheme, PM Kusum, for farmers. Now, PM Kusum's aim is to add solar and other renewable capacity up to 25,750 megawatts by 2022. Refer to the following statement regarding the scheme and identify one which is not the future of the same. A, B, C, D, E. Yes, statements have been given. Look at this particular question. This question, even if it is easy, logical, still it will waste your time. And that is why I will say this question is conceptual. This question is difficult. Even though the level of this question may be easy, still you will waste your time. That is why this question is difficult. You have to attempt this question, but you have to be a fast reader and you have to go through all the lines to understand the difference between the statements which have been given. There is very high chance that examiner will add and subtract any of the points in any of these 5 statements. So you have to be very, very pretty sure. Subsidy would be provided on diesel for running diesel pump and thus provide farmers a reliable source of irrigation. neither you will find any negative statement in these 5 statements, so that you can eliminate. Individual farmers will be supported to install standalone solar agricultural pumps. Farmers will be able to generate solar power through irrigation needs. Excess solar power will be sold to discoms. In case cultivated fields are chosen for setting up solar power projects, farmer could continue to grow crops as solar panels are to be set up above the minimum height, and the scheme would ensure the sufficient local solar, other renewable energy based power is available for feeding rural load centers and agriculture pump set loads. Look at all these statements. If you look from a generic point of view, be honest to yourself, all of these statements seems to be very, very correct. So but as you all know, what is the question saying about? Identify which one is not a feature of the same. So one of the statements which seems to be correct, it is not. So rest 4 of the statements would be under PM Kusum. The one statement will not be there. So here when you are looking at, you should be knowing about all the points about PM Kusum. The answer here is very simple, it's A. Why it is? So here if you see, subsidy would be provided to diesel for running diesel pumps and provide farmers a reliable source of irrigation. So it's not for actually subsidy will not be provided for diesel pumps, okay? So because this overall scheme is all about solar pump and other renewable energy sources for driving the pumps, okay? So solar pump can be used, but here the diesel which has been written, that is wrong statement. Again, such multiple statement or 3 statement based or 5 statement based questions will be asked to you. You have to find out which is wrong or which is correct. Single liner questions mostly are such questions where you will at least know, either you know the question or you don't know the question. So there you have to attempt very carefully. Multiple pronged statements are such that you will not know that which of the answer may be correct or may not be correct. But these are attemptable questions because you have the possibility to eliminate any of the statements to understand, because most of the multi-pronged statements are conceptual questions, not data oriented. One of the statement could be data oriented, then you have to be pretty sure that that data is correct or not. Cyclone Nivar made a landfall near which of the following places recently in the month of November 2020. So November 2020, RBI exam happens in June, July. Guys, look at the current affairs. It's not even 6 to 8 months current affairs, it's a 9-month duration current affairs. So shall we do for 1 year current affairs? No, not required. You do it for 6 to 8 months only. Definitely one or other question could be like this. Again, this question is factual in nature but easy. Pondicherry is the answer here, not more to discuss. Recently in the month of October 2020, World Economic Forum WEF has announced to set up India's first advanced manufacturing hub, hub in the state of what? Rajasthan, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. So anything which is first, anything which has important organization, this is a topic which is in your ESI syllabus. Very good. So when you're looking at such questions, again, this particular news would have World Economic Forum in the newspaper. So definitely such questions, this is how you can pick the questions. This is how you can pick the proper news. Is this news important for RBI or not? And is this news not important for RBI or not? This is what you understand from these particular questions. The answer here is very simple. It's Tamil Nadu. Let's move forward. PM Kisan, again a government scheme related question. Central sector scheme with 100% funding from Government of India. Who among the following are not eligible to avail the benefits? So simple benefits have been asked. So it is a very easy question, but let's try to read it. Large landholding farmer families not eligible pucha hai. Former and present holders of constitutional post. All eligible landholding farmer families. Both A and B and none of these. The answer is very simple here. Former and present holders of constitutional post. B is the answer. Now one more thing. You will say that, sir, how come large land holdings? That is the new, after PM Kisan, after 1-2 years, the update came in the PM Kisan that large land holders also now will not be included. Okay. But initially large land holders were included. Every farmer family who has land, that was included. But only people with government jobs and constitutional post or any of the governmental post, those were not considered. In recently released Union Budget 2021-2022, what amount of fund has been allocated under revamped post-matric scholarship scheme for the welfare of scheduled caste for 6 years to benefit 4 crore SC students? Again, a very important scheme from social justice point of view, and in ESI, your economic and social issues comes, right? Social issues. So that is why this particular question has been asked. Now, looking at this question or particular scheme also, that is post-matric scholarship scheme, this topic becomes very, very important. But look at the options here. What they have asked from the scheme? Fact. So any government scheme, when you are looking at, try to divide this government scheme into under multiple points. So even Lakshmi ma'am would have given you the formula. Whenever you are looking at a government scheme, you have to look first is which year that particular scheme has been brought into inception. Second thing you can look is by which ministry that particular government scheme has been brought by. Two things are there. One is nothing but which ministry has maybe actually started the government scheme. Second is which ministry has inaugurated the government scheme. Third is which ministry has executed. So ministry in establishment, in inception, in execution, everything, if ministries are different, you have to understand or you have to note it down. Your ministry, then comes funding. Then comes funding. So is it a central sector scheme? Is it a centrally sponsored scheme? This also you should be knowing. Then comes important features of the scheme, which also includes the characteristics, you may say, or features only you can call it. The third is who are the beneficiaries of the scheme and who are not the beneficiaries of the scheme. Both of the things. Okay? Features dekh liya, characteristics, beneficiaries, non-beneficiaries. Then next, what are the challenges of a particular scheme? Okay, what are the challenges of a particular scheme? And next important thing is there any similar central scheme? If it is a central scheme, is there any similar scheme at state level? Right? So these are all the points which you should definitely cover for any government scheme. Okay? Make sure that you are covering all these topics. Make sure that you are covering these topics for your every government scheme, each and every government scheme. Okay? The answer here is 35,219 crore. Okay? Next. Recently in the month of February 2021, Pondicherry Chief Minister V. Narayanaswamy had submitted his resignation to LG Tamisili Soundararajan after losing confidence of vote in Legislative Assembly. The Pondicherry Legislative Assembly has dash seats. Now again, look at it. This seems to be from Constitution. So as you know, in phase 1 from ESI specifically, Constitution wise, you should be knowing certain articles. Most importantly, the articles in the first 4 parts of your Constitution. Okay, so from fundamental rights to fundamental duties to DPSP, all the constitutional articles number by number and depth by depth you have to know. Second thing is important facts from the Constitution. Most importantly, from the chapters of 1st to 4, Parliament chapter, okay, and State Legislature chapter. These 3 parts you have to know every fact, and that is why this question has been asked. They have asked directly the seats. So 27, 35, 28, 33, 36, it's very simple, 33 hota hai. Okay, so but not everyone would be knowing that. But you have to prepare. If these are the questions which were in the past year paper, then again they can be repeated in the next anticipated year. In February 2021, Gozi Okonjo-Iweala has been appointed the 7th Director General of WTO. Important organization, again, important international organization. She is the first woman, again the keyword is also there, the first, who is the head of the body, and she belongs to which of the following countries? So Ethiopia, Nigeria, Kenya, Eritrea and Algeria. I don't know about it, but most probably it could be either Kenya or Nigeria. So yes, I am correct. either Kenya or either Nigeria. My prediction or maybe my tukka was little bit, let's not go into that, but I felt that the name was from Kenya or Nigeria. But again, you have to be very confident and you should know how much questions you are attempted. For example, if 80 questions are there in GA, okay, and in first 15 minutes, you have attempted almost 40 questions. So this is a really good attempt. If you think out of this 40, maybe 10, 15 could be wrong, or maybe 10 could be wrong, not more than 10 could be wrong. This is a really decent attempt. You should not take more risks. But suppose your attempt is 20 or 25, then definitely such questions, you shouldn't lose your confidence. You should actually try to apply logic wherever it can be. Reserve Bank of India has constructed a composite digital payment index DPI to capture the extent of digitalization payment in the country. Which one of the following is not the parameter that enables measurement of deepening and penetration of digital payments in the country? So it's again important question from digital payments, digital literacy, digital payment, your budget, your ministries, government scheme. These were some of the topics which we have seen up till now. So the answer here is very simple, payment analysis. This is not the parameter which looks after deepening and penetration. Payment enabler is nothing but payment enabler is that factor or that particular points where a person is pushed to do the payment digitally. Payment infrastructure is nothing but digital infrastructure we are talking about. People are having mobile phones or not, people are having internet or not. Payment performance is nothing but how that particular digital infrastructure is performing, and consumer centricity is nothing but if you consider a particular area, then that particular facility and digital payments availability, how much consumers are having it. So is it consumer centric? Consumer centric means how much easily consumers can access it. So these are the four factors. Okay, then 28 dash is the art and science of making maps and charts. स्टैटिक जीए का एकदम सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. कार्टो, ऑर्थो, कैको, कैलीग्राफी, डेमोग्राफी. डेमोग्राफी इज नथिंग बट ओवरऑल segmentation of population. Calligraphy, handwriting related. Cartography is the correct answer. Okay. Orthography is you are related to your X-rays and all. Cacography, I think you can search it out. Okay. So this is how you have to study also some of the questions which are that question was particularly very low hanging fruit. Most of the students would have solved it. HCL Technologies has announced to roll out a one-time special bonus for 700 rupees crore to its employees globally. The recognition of this recent milestone of crossing mark in revenue for 2020. So they are asking how much milestone of the revenue they have crossed so as to roll out one-time special bonus of 700 crore rupees. 15 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, 25 billion and 30 billion. So again a factual question, but definitely important from your economy point of view. Such now you understand. See, there are many of the students who feel that अरे private companies के related question नहीं पूछते GA में. But see, they are asking you if that question is significantly important, that topic is significantly important. The answer is 10 billion here. What is the current ceiling of cash reserve ratio set by Reserve Bank of India? कभी भी अगर Reserve Bank की website पे जाते हो ना, to the left hand side corner here only, all the latest cash reserve ratio, okay, SLR, CRR, everything has been given. Okay, so now this question is asking about current. What is the current ceiling of cash reserve ratio? 5%, 3%, 6%, 2.5%. So at that time, if you see it's 3%. Now you will say that sir every day check करे क्या? नहीं, लेकिन एग्जाम हॉल के पहले अंदर जाने से पहले जरूर एक बार इसको देख लेना. So I hope that this particular session we tried to cover again important questions. Now we will meet again after I think tomorrow we'll meet and we'll try to complete the remaining questions. Thank you very much. This was the second part. We'll come with the third part. Tomorrow. And till then, wait for the notification. Let's see when it comes.